if it's a first date, he's got to date you and this one and that one and that one and that one and that one. Like, get out that man's pockets. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. First of all, y'all, I'm getting my life together. So if you see me looking at my phone or something, it's not that I'm ignoring you guys. It's just that I'm getting my life together. So let me get my life together. All right. So what is up, everybody? First of all, it's been far too long. These long breaks in between episodes have got to stop, okay? Because I miss you guys, okay? We are a group, we are a team, we are a family, okay? And I gotta be here with y'all, all right? So first of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and move the thank you. No, I'm gonna leave it like this, never mind. Guys, this is not my normal recording time. So I just wanna keep it really chill and like lax with you guys tonight because, yeah, I said tonight because I'm recording at night. And yeah, I just want to keep it chill. I don't want to be before you long because I'm ready to go to bed. So, you know, I'm saying we ain't gonna be here all night. Anyway, so let's get into it. First of all, I don't even know where to start. So I'm just gonna start. Let me start with this and then I will get into our segments. So number one, I took a week off social media. I really didn't post much last week. Really not much the week before that. I think the last series of posts I did was my little mini vlogs of me at Transformation Conference V3D. And then that was it. And the reason that I took this little mini hiatus is because I had to process. As you guys, most of you know, I went to Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I went to their conference, version 3D. We started going version 2, and I just, at this point, it's gotta be a commitment, a yearly tradition. We go every year. So we went, and last year I came back and I was like, y'all, it is different. I am different. This year, it's like, cause after a while, it's like I was able to slide back into some old things. And like, I knew I shouldn't have, but I was able to like block that out. This year, it's like, when I say I'm different, I mean like anything that when I try to slide into something that I shouldn't slide into, it's a quick conviction. It's like, now I have no choice. Like, I can't explain it, but the Holy Spirit is like, girl, no, we're moving forward, not backward. Okay. You make all things new, yes, you. So it has been a process. I got a lot of revelation. There's a lot to process, a lot of work to be done. And so I just needed this time. The first week coming home, like I really just needed to process and like get my head on straight and like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? How are we doing this? Week 2 was honestly just a combination of like me being tired and like me processing. So, but just to give a quick synopsis, and maybe like on my YouTube, I'll do a different video about this, but, it was amazing. Like, the 3Ds were Dominion. What was it? Dominion. Hold on. I wrote it down. I'm gonna tell you. How did I forget the third D? I know the last D, but I can't remember the third D. It was something that now I can't remember, so I guess it's over for me here. But it was Dominion, something, and Deliverance. I don't remember the third D. I'm not even gonna waste your time like this, but so good, so good. I made new friends. I got to run into old friends, and it was just an experience. Like when I say, like last year I was like, I got free. No, this year, I mean free. free. So it was just amazing. It was so amazing to be around everybody. It's like there were 4,000 of us there, and even running into people that I had never met before, like meeting them in line, whatever, it's like we had known each other forever. Like I ran into people from Transformation who not just volunteer there, but people that I met last year. Like there were volunteers I met last year that I was like, oh my God, I love you. Like, how are you? You know, I just remember the impact you made on me last year, you know. There were people that if you watch Transformation Church, you might see them on the screen on Sundays, you might see them on the live stream, you might see them reoccurring. And some of them I met last year, and I was like, when you preach this message, it touched me, you know, or whatever. I just met them last year. And so this year it was like we picked right up where we left off. And let's give a break for, there we go. I don't know what happened. Podcast over here cutting up. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, other people, it's like we just picked up where we left off, and it was just great. It was so funny because like I ran into these people from Arizona, and they were like I said, a lot of you guys might know Will. He had the story where he was like on drugs, and like, you know, we see him a lot at TC. And he was like in front of me, like at the tent, and he turned around and he waved, and I was like, hey, Will. I was like, you look so good. Like, you know, you can tell he's lost so much weight. I was like, you look so good. Like, and they were like, oh my God, you just know everybody. And I was like, I don't know. It's not like that. It's like we're family. So a great time. I recommend anybody who has not been to a Transformation conference, go. But here's what I'm gonna say. Don't go if you are not ready to be transformed. Period. Don't do it. If you are not ready for the transformation, don't go. So with that being said, let's jump into our segments. So this is gonna be a quickie. It's gonna be a super quick episode because I really wanna get into the topic, and then I wanna get out of here because like I said, I'm tired. So let's start with word on the street. Actually, I'm gonna take that back. We're gonna do word on the street last. So for those of you who are new here, word on the street is our version of like hot topics, celebrity gossip, whatever. I'm not really big on the gossip, but I do like to talk about the hot topics. So we normally start with word on the street. We're gonna do that last because it is our topic. So we're gonna go to big ups, and we can't do that either. Okay. Let's start with Flavor in Your Ear. Flavor in Your Ear is where I put you on to what I'm listening to right now. So for Flavor in Your Ear, I always give two. Usually I give a secular and a Christian song. I only have Christian songs for you this time. So number one is I Thank God by Maverick City. I love it. I liked that song beforehand because, like, I'm not gonna lie, when I first found out about that song, I was like, Maverick City only does slow songs. Like, they only do worship songs. And then when I found that song, I was like, yes, finally, we got a little pep in our step. But it's so good. I've heard different segments of the song before. Like, I've never actually, until I came back from the conference, never listened to the song all the way through. So I've heard different segments of the song before. So I've heard like different parts of like the end, and people have used them in their songs, but I've never heard the whole song all the way through. Oh, chef's kiss. Okay, love it, here for it. It is everything. So I Thank God by Maverick City, and Impossible by Jesus Co. and Worship Mob. So Impossible is a 3-parter. Listen to all 3 parts, always together, every time you listen to it. Every time you listen to it, listen to all 3 parts. It's called Impossible by Worship Mob and Jesus Co. That song, so Spotify dropped that when I was in the airport was it Chicago? I think it was Chicago. And I listened to that all the way from Chicago to DC. And boy, when I say I was getting my praise on in them seats, I was getting my praise on in them seats. It is everything. So check those out. Let's move on to our word on the street. We're going to tie word on the street and big ups together because it is our topic. So word on the street, there's this stupid, dumb dating list going around. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a list that a bunch of girls put together, and it's like places a guy shouldn't take you on the first date. It is, there are some things on the list that I can agree with. We're going to break it down. There are some things on the list that I agree with, but the majority of the list is just like, girl, what do you think this is? Like, what do you think this is? And so my big ups goes to Pastor Mike Todd, not just because I was just at Transformation Church, but because he was talking to a girl and she was like, I'm 32, like, we need more than minimal effort, which I agree with her. I'm 30 and I need more than minimal effort. I agree with her, but here's the thing. Minimal effort does not equate to where a man takes you on the first date when it comes to a chain restaurant. He's getting to know you. He's getting to know you. Like, minimal effort and maximum effort should not be equated to where you go on the first date, where you go out to eat on the first date. That's, unless McDonald's is on that list, like, you know what I mean? Unless McDonald's is like, it's like, no. Because why? Anyway, so I'm gonna read the list. Let me find it. I'm gonna read the list and then we're gonna talk about it. So here we go. It says, here's a list of, hold on, you guys, because for whatever reason, this is why I do not podcast on my laptop. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is why I don't do this on the laptop. This is why I do this on my iPad, because this is straight foolishness, y'all. Hold on. I am so sorry. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. All right, so we're back in business. So for anybody who uses Spotify for podcasters, formerly known as Anchor, don't use it on the laptop. It is irritating. It stops every 5 minutes, which makes it hard for me to do the YouTube portion of this podcast. It just makes it hard for me to do the podcast in general. I don't know why, because you're supposed to get a full 30 minutes of recording time in the web when you do it on the laptop for your segment before it cuts off. But for whatever reason, it's every 5 minutes and it's actually really annoying. So Spotify for podcasters, aka Anchor, if you are listening to this podcast, if you come across this YouTube video, you need to fix it. You need to fix it. However you do your web browser situation, you need to fix it. It's irritating. Anyway, so we're talking about these chain restaurants. So it says, here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go. And please don't say women, because I'm not one of them, okay? Absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to help me on my list. So here we go. From 1 to 28. Number 1, Cheesecake Factory. Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house. Now, I agree with that one. I'm not coming to your house on the first date. Like, it's one thing if we're out and about and we are, you know, we have our date. And then, like, if I came to you, like, to where you are, and after the date, you're like, hey, you want to come and hang out for a little bit, you know, and just, like, continue talking? Sure, that makes sense. Yes. But for the whole date to be at your house, no. Any fast food chain, I can agree with that. We don't need to, like, we can keep it cheap without going to McDonald's and Burger King. I'm sorry. And as a bariatric surgery patient, there's not much I can eat at those restaurants anyway. So I agree with that with fast food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, y'all tripping. Wingstop is bussin'. Red Lobster, a buffet. A buffet I can agree with, because ever since COVID, I don't. I don't, and I don't want to. I don't want to be around no food. Other people are picking around. But that's just me. That's a personal thing. I'm not going to a buffet any day of the week. It doesn't matter if it's a first date, a third date, a fifth date, a 90th date, or family time. I don't want to be at a buffet, period. IHOP, Denny's, the gym, you hating, get in shape, okay? Church, you tripping. We need Jesus. Starbucks, coffee dates. Now, why would you split up Starbucks and coffee dates? It's the same thing, but okay. Ice cream dates, family functions. Family functions I can agree with. We can go to a family function on, like, our third or fourth date, but for the first date, no. Like, it's our very first date. I don't want to meet your family because it's the first date. I'm trying to decide if I want to continue to see you. So yes, that would be awkward. No to the family functions. Movie night, aka Netflix, Hulu, etc. That one I'm iffy about because, again, that goes back to we're not going back to your house to quote unquote Netflix and chill as a first date. But if you plan something cute and, like, say we did like a drive in and we just like did it in like the trunk of your car. Not like if you have an SUV, you know, in like the back of your car or something like that, and just like did a Netflix movie night out and got little snacks, like that'd be cool. But to just hang out at your house, no. Somewhere that requires a long drive. What? How are you gonna get to, okay. Bowling, nightclubs, I agree with that. I don't go to the club, period. So we're not going to the nightclub on any date for any occasion because I don't go to clubs. A hookah bar, I can also agree with that one because I don't smoke hookah. So, yeah, a bar just for drinks, you tripping. Waffle House, sporting events. So out of this list, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things out of 28 that I can agree with. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I will insert the list here. So yeah, out of that list, there are a few things that I can agree with. But here's what I'm gonna say. What? All of these things are good things. So here's my issue. We're talking about a first date, right? For first dates, you get to know a person, right? I'm not going on a first date to plan a wedding with you. I'm going on a first date, unless it's like some kind of arranged marriage situation. I'm going on a first date to get to know you. So a lot of these places, like coffee dates, ice cream dates, somewhere that requires a long drive. Here goes Anchor again. Don't you just love this? Somewhere that, yeah, no. Yeah, I would say, and even most of these places, the only thing I would say where it would be hard for you guys to like talk and chit chat would probably be a sporting event. I went to a sporting event for a second date, and we actually had a good time. We spent more time with each other than we did, you know, focused on the sport, but we had a good time. So, but the whole point of a first date is to get to know a person. I'm asking you questions, you're asking me questions, we're talking, I'm finding out about you, I'm getting to know you. So why wouldn't I want to do something that requires me and gives me the opportunity to get to know you? Doesn't make any sense. So here's what I'm gonna say. Women's standards are out of whack when it comes to these things, because not everybody has 7 figures. Not everybody has 6 figures. You are not, you average Gina, you're not dating Bill Gates. Like, you average Gina, you're not dating a ball player. Like, you're not dating an actor, you're not dating a rapper, like you're dating average Joe. So average Joe does not have Ruth Chris money. And then my thing is, if you rule out all of these like simple places and simple things to do for a first date to get to know somebody, what is your ideal first date? Like, what is your idea of a first date? If we can't go out to eat at these chain restaurants that are nice places, Cheesecake Factory, come on. We can't go out to eat at these places to get to know each other. We can't go on an ice cream date. We can't go out to Starbucks. We can't go on a coffee date. We can't go to the movies. We can't go bowling and do an activity. We can't go to the gym. We can't go to church. Like, what is your idea of a first date? You want to be flown out? You want a vacation for the first date? Like, y'all are tripping. The whole point is to get to know people. And this, I would go as far to say that standards like this are why people do not have, this generation does not have lasting relationships, and we can't make it out of the talking phase because girls are so wrapped up in what they see on social media, as are guys, but I'm just saying, people get so wrapped up in what they see on social media that they're like, oh, well, you should be flying me out and blah, 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 and blee, 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 blee. And it's like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all. Like, they fly you out and then what? You're so focused on the material portion of things that you're not getting to know the person. What you are getting to know is what their pockets do and what they can do for you. And that doesn't lead to a lasting relationship. And so any guy who's desperate enough to settle for your shallowness because he doesn't want to be alone is going to continue to feed into your foolishness. Now you find yourself in a marriage, and 20 years later and 3 kids later, you're getting divorced because you guys never really knew each other and you never really liked each other. It was all a transaction. Dating is not a business transaction. It's not a shopping transaction. Like, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. Like, the whole point is to get to know a person. And so what I found funny is Sierra just celebrated her birthday, and her husband, Russell Wilson, actually rented out a Waffle House for her because it is one of her favorite places for her to go on her birthday. And it's funny, it wasn't their first date, but it's like, if Sierra's not too good for Waffle House, why do you guys think that you're too good for Waffle House, right? Like, my next thing is that, and I've kind of covered most of this list, but y'all are focused on the wrong things. And I pretty much already said that, but y'all are focused on the wrong things if you think that this is how dating is supposed to go for you. If this is how a first date is supposed to go for you. Like, you're so focused, you're too focused on somebody's wallet, you're not focused on the person. At the end of the day, their wallet doesn't matter, because they could have millions of dollars, they could have billions of dollars and be a trash person. They could be a terrible person and have millions of dollars. Your values and your views could not line up, and they could have millions of dollars. Then what? What's gonna sustain you? Because that money, you can't take with you, right? When times are tough, when you're losing parents at that, like Medea says, traffic jam of life, you can't take, the millions are not gonna fix the problem, right? Excuse me, y'all, hold for anchor. All right, this episode is gonna be fun. But yeah, y'all are focused on the wrong thing. When you get to that place in life where you're middle-aged, you're losing your parents, your kids are growing up, when you get to that place in life where your kids have grown up and they've left the house and it's just you two, money is not going to keep the relationship alive. Money is not going to sustain the relationship. The lifestyle, sure. The house, sure. The cars, sure. But the relationship, no. So you're focused on the wrong thing, especially when it comes to a first date. You need to be focused on getting to know that person. Be focused on their character. Be focused on the characteristics that they're showing you, not focused on what that wallet do. That's foolish. My next thing, and I really don't care if I get canceled for this one because it is what it is, acting like this does not make you desirable. No man in his right mind wants to date a woman who really thinks that, like, this is reality. This doesn't make you desirable. This is not a way of you showing that, like, your standards are high and you're not gonna settle. Like, this is just you being foolish. You thinking that, like, this is how it is just it's foolish. You are being foolish, and anybody with a brain can see right through it. It's stupid. You're not desirable. No man is gonna look at you. If you come to a man and you're like, before we go out, I need to give you this list, and these are places that I won't go and things that I won't do with you on the first date, he's gonna be like, all right, well, it's been nice knowing you. Wish you luck. Because that doesn't make you desirable. That makes you actually the exact opposite. Because it's like, girl, what planet are you living on? And it's true, what planet are you living on? Like, you are showing right away what you really are after when you come to a man like this. A man can, truthfully, and I know I said fast food chains, I was like, I kind of agree with that, no thank you, but a man could take you on a date to Burger King for your first date and wow you and give you maximum effort that you've never experienced before on a Burger King date, and take you to Ruth Chris and only want one thing, which is what's between your legs. Girl, come on. Come on, be smart. Be smart. And I guess, I'm gonna say this, I guess it comes down to what your end goal is when it comes to dating. But if your goal is, like, I would say most of us, which is to be married, to have a family, to be with that person for the rest of your life, or to find that person that you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, excuse me, you need more than just pockets. And I think that I've said this probably 4 or 5 different ways this episode, but you need more than just pockets. You've got to weather seasons together. And money is not going to get me through the tough seasons. Ruth Chris, and remembering and looking back 20 years later that our first date was at Ruth Chris, or for our first date, you flew me out to Miami and we had like a weekend together, like for our very first date. That's not going to get me through the seasons, the tough times, the difficult seasons where I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I've got postpartum depression, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're losing your parents. Like, that's not going to get us through the seasons. How we show up for each other is going to get us through the seasons, and very much so how your partner shows up for you, how that man shows up for you, for your first date and throughout your relationship. That's what matters. That's where the effort comes in. You can't ask a man to take you on a vacation and treat you like you're his girlfriend when it's just the first date, because let's be real, he's vetting out his options just like you are. So you're not the only one, and you're not the main one until you are. And it's a first date. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. So y'all are tripping. Like, there's no way around it. I don't know what else to say except y'all are tripping. Yeah, that's that's the best thing that I can say. And I know this is probably like the most low energy like podcast. I'm so sorry for everybody that's listening. Everybody that's watching. It's probably the most low energy podcast I've done in a while. Like I said, this is not my normal recording time. I'm tired. And honestly, I've just been going through it today. So, but truthfully, like, this is not the way. Like, this is, it's just laughable. It is. And like, I'm not trying to be that girl that's like, oh, like she's for men. Like, that's not what I'm saying, because I'm a girl's girl. But what I'm saying is like, realism is realism. Reality is reality. Like, you've got to be real. You got to be real with yourself. Like, girl, be real. A Cheesecake Factory date is not the worst thing in the world. It's not minimal effort, because you have to make a reservation for that place most of the time. The way Cheesecake Factory gets busy, you really are better off making a reservation. So it's like, why are we tripping? Like, and also, if the tables were turned, you wouldn't want somebody in your pockets and vetting you just off of your pockets alone. You'd be like, well, dang, like, there's so much more to me. He has to date you. If it's a first date, he's got to date you and this one and that one and that one and that one and that one. Like, get out that man's pockets. Like, him making the effort to just take you out on a first date and get to know you, that's what matters. The questions that he's asking, the conversations that you're having, that's what matters. We can have vacations and Ruth Chris later. Okay. But if I can leave you guys with anything, it would be this right here. Don't let social media be your Bible. Don't let social media trick you. Don't let social media have you out here thinking that reality is not reality. Y'all got to live in the real world. We all do. Men and women alike, we all need to live in the real world. Social media is not real. It is a facade. It is fake. It is fake. Okay, it is not real. And these standards are unrealistic. It is okay to have high standards, but your standard being based off of this list is unrealistic. It's unrealistic, and honestly, it's just selfish. It's just selfish. It is what it is. Like, I said it here first. Listen, little sisters, it's selfish. And big sisters too. It's selfish. It's selfish. It's unrealistic and it's selfish. And y'all are better than this. Come on. If you don't know how to have a conversation, just say that. If you don't know how to communicate, just say that. Like, if you're just trying to get a free meal, just say that. Because if that's what you're trying to do, you can get a free meal, but don't expect him to not be expecting something in return. Come on now. If it's a transaction, it's a transaction. Just say that. Okay? If you just want to be able to make other people jealous and show it off on social media, just say that. Okay? Okay? Okay. But this is not the way. This is not the way, especially if you desire to be a wife. This is not wifely behavior. It's not. Sorry. It's not. And any wife who had standards like this before she got married is divorced now. And if she's not, she's on her way there. Okay. I said what I said. I said what I said. It is what it is, and it be what it be. Hold for anchor. Yeah. I said what I said, you guys. Listen, do better for yourself. If for nobody else, do better for yourself. You're selling yourself short when you have standards like this list. It's just not, it's not realistic. Be real with yourself. So that is it. I feel like this is the shortest podcast in like podcast history over here for this show. But it had to be because I'm not going to sit here and fight with this laptop. Also, it's late. And like I said, y'all, I've been struggling to get my energy up all day long. Like I literally can't even bring myself to talk like above the level that I'm at right now. Like I'm just like stuck. But thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to everybody who's listening from every city, every state, every province, every village, every town, every country, every continent. I love you guys. I say this all the time, but without you, there would be no show. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Make sure that you guys follow me on the socials. I am at Aislyn Wade on everything. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. You can follow this show at Let's Talk with A on Instagram. But if you just go over to Aislyn Wade's Instagram, you can find everything in my bio. If you are looking to keep up with my fitness journey or you just need a little inspiration, you can follow at Always Aislyn on Instagram. And of course, you know, I always post that content on my TikTok as well. And if you are looking for community, if you are a Christian and you are looking for community, follow at Bible Brunch, DM me, hit the link tree in my bio on Instagram and get plugged in, get connected. We've got a great little community of people that we all met at most of us met at the Transformation Conference last year, but still, community is community. Not only are we countrywide right now, low-key worldwide, but not only are we worldwide, but we are, if you're on the East Coast, we are here, we are together, so plug in. And last but not least, if you were looking for if you need a little guidance in life, you need a life coach, a confidence coach, a relationship coach, hit your girl up. You can follow that link tree, head on over to my website, and and put in for your free consultation, and payment plans are available. And with that being said, guys, again, make sure we link. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. So easily distracted, man. Bye, guys.